So I want to talk a little bit more about the Philippines because I know it's a very poor country. Some people say that it's a developing country. I know there's a lot of corruption. So let's talk about that. Why is that, is there a lot of corruption in the Philippines?
Yes, that's correct. They're saying that you should start with the government. Honestly, they're very corrupt. From the president to the barangay captain. This country, if we have a good leader, honestly, we would not be in third world country because our politics here in the Philippines is very, very like they're very, very corrupt.
Yeah.
Then, instead of helping the poor, they're actually pocketing the money. That's the reason why perhaps our country is still in, the developing country. It's very poor. Honestly, this is based on my experience, cousin. Even if I have a good company, still sometimes we're still struggling, honestly. Paying bills, paying the rent because we're renting. If if you don't have like a good education here in the Philippines, most likely you will end up doing some bad things. Like sometimes people here, like the other day, they are like, what do you call this? The other day, they are like, they call this, hold up. They're like pickpocketing other people just to have foods in their table. They're doing bad things because of we don't have better opportunity here in our country. That's why it saddened me as well. It's very sad.
Yeah, I mean, even as an American looking from the outside, it makes me very angry about all the corruption. When I was there, I saw two kids going through the garbage. I'll never forget that memory. And although it also makes me grateful for what I have, it also makes me very angry at the situation, at the government. Do you kind of feel the same way?
Yes, I definitely agree on your point of view as well. Because I don't know why is it like government doing this kind of tactics, commercial tactics to be elected, but once they in the position, they don't help. Like that is just they just like doing promises, but in reality they don't want to help. Like if you know what I'm saying, cousin, like they're good at promises, but once they have been elected, that's it. They don't help. Like there's no help at all.
I mean, yeah, the word that comes to my mind is greed. They just get very greedy. They just worry about themselves. They like you said, they probably pocket a lot of the money. Same thing happens in America. I don't know if it's as bad as the Philippines. I know that Pacquiao is a politician there, correct?
Yes, he's one of a senators.
Is he helping? Is he helping at all?
Before in his term, I think he had helped, the Mindanao region where he came from, the
No.
General Santos City.
Oh.
But I here in Manila, we don't feel help. Like what do you call this? We don't feel their helping hand here in Metro Manila. But in the Mindanao region, I think they're helping naman. Yep. They're
Yeah.
really helping.
Sometimes I think a lot about, my grandparents from both my mom and dad's side. They moved to America when they were maybe in their 20s or 30s probably. And if they didn't move to America, my whole life would be different. I'd be in the Philippines, I'd be born there, or I wouldn't have been born at all. But I wouldn't have been as blessed as I am today. And I thank God every day that they made the decision to come to America. And at the same time, I feel a lot of sympathy and empathy for people in the Philippines because I just feel like they're not getting the helping hand that they deserve.
Correct. Actually, I'm a bit jealous because you're in America, you have a better life there. But at the same time, I'm also blessed because still we're still eating 3 times a day,
Okay.
but not that privileged as you do. Like that's a good decision that you went to America because if you stay here, it's very life here is very hard. Growing up, it's very hard.
And it's so interesting because in America the depression and anxiety and the suicide rate is very high. And a lot of people in other countries look at us and go, what are you crying about? What are you complaining about? We're struggling. You guys have it so easy. So, is that sort of your mentality that you look at us as like, why are you guys crying so much? We have it so easy. Do you kind of have that mentality?
Sometimes I do. I
Uh,
do have that. Why are they still depressed when they have everything? Why are they still, complaining when they have like everything they could have asked for? Well, here in the Philippines, you know what, cousin? My one of my dream is to go to America because I can see, the Hollywood life, the more relaxed and more at least dignified life. But here in the Philippines, the the pay here, it's very little. Sometimes it's just go straight to the rent, go straight to the food. Like we don't have option to go to America because our salary is very low. Like for example, me, well, I won't what do you call this? Well, I won't
disclose.
get into expose it, or I won't provide details. But compared to people there in America, you have a like more at least what do you call this? You have more better opportunities than we have here in the Philippines. Mm.
Yeah, and I think about this a lot, and I think that it's really important for people in America, especially to hear these sort of discussions because, a lot of people in America complain about their lives, and I understand, a lot of people have mental health issues. I also think that sort of the human brain is kind of ungrateful by design, and you know how sometimes we're just less grateful than we should be. And it's kind of just human nature, I think. I don't want to invalidate people's feelings. People do have depression here. People are, bipolar and they have mental health issues, and the suicide rate is high. But at the same time, I do think it's really important to talk about the Philippines and other developing countries that are really, really struggling way worse than us.
Yes. Actually, even me, I can totally tell you right now that I'm also suffering from, if you're familiar with PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder, sometimes I can feel a little bit anxious when problem strikes in our household. I can, and then if you know my aunt Marites, my father's sister, she has mental illness. Growing up, she has it's schizophrenia. It's
Schizophrenia?
yes,
Schizophrenia?
she
Okay.
has that illness.
Wow.
Growing up, sometimes I ask God, what's the reason why she should struggle like that? She is a very kind person. And sometimes I feel bad because she's she's one of like the best aunt ever. She don't wish bad things happen to people. That's the reason why sometimes I ask God why we experience this kind of, things. Mm.
What do you think is the answer? Why do you think that God allows suffering?
I think because we're not perfect. We're only human. Perhaps it's part of life that we need to also struggle. We need to have, you know, we need to at least perhaps to have strong faith, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, some people say the reason why God allows suffering is to help us grow. We grow
Mm.
from suffering, we learn from suffering, and then we're able to help other people who are suffering. So you said that you have, what is it called? PMPD?
PMDD, it's like premenstrual dysphoric disorder. So 2 weeks before my period, I feel very depressed. I'm like, my mood is like, I get, I'm very angry a lot of times. I'm very mad in like just the smallest thing, you know. It's like severe form of PMS. You're familiar with it, premenstrual syndrome.
And then how long does that last? Does it last for 2 weeks?
2 weeks. And then once I've had my period, it, what they call this? It was more lighter. Like 2 weeks before my period, I feel very depressed.
Yeah, so this is the first time I think hearing about this. Is this considered a mental disorder?
Yes, it is considered as one of a like mental illness. Because they said doctors don't know what's the main cause of PMDD. They don't have like scientific answer to that.
And are you born with it or do you kind of pick it up? Are you How does that work?
I think I got it when I was 16 years old because I feel very depressed during that 2 weeks period. So I did went to a psychiatrist, and then that psychiatrist, my doctor told me that I have this um illness called PMDD, which were like 2 weeks before my period. I feel anxious, down. I feel I f- I feel not I like I feel it's like I feel like the world is against me.
Wow.
kind
Yeah.
of,
I've heard this before. Not, I used to have a coworker who, I mean, it was a man, but he said that he used to feel like the whole world was against them. So I've heard this feeling before. But I guess with you it's different because with you it's a mental disorder. It's not from let's say like from your childhood. How was your childhood growing up? What was your childhood like?
my childhood growing up, we were in Pangasinan. Mom, dad, and my siblings. We grew up in Pangasinan. It's like a province here in the Philippines. We're very poor, honestly, growing up. My dad has a poultry farm where we get our food. And then my mother, she used to sell these desserts door to door. Growing up, it's very hard, honestly. Um, but looking back, cousin, I should say that life now is a little bit comfortable compared to before. And then we used to live in a bahay kubo, which is just like a small wood where we were together there. We're like my brother, sister, and my mother and father were all in one room. Yeah, it's very hard growing.
And what about now? Do you all have your own bedroom now?
Not really. We're okay. Me, my mom, and my niece Vera were sharing rooms. It's still hard, but it's a little bit comfortable compared to before when I was young.
Yeah, well, this is very important for people to hear because the way that I look at it is if anybody has their own bedroom, that's a privilege. That's a privilege to have your own bedroom. If for anyone listening, if you have your own room, whether you're a kid or an adult, that's a privilege. There are so many people in the world that are struggling, they can't afford to have their own bedroom, right?
I must agree on that. Like for example, the people in Africa, they don't have roof to live, right? Well, for us, I'm still grateful. We're not rich like people there in America, but we're okay. We survive every day. But not, this is still not my dream life. I still want to aim more. I still want to help others. Sometimes I ask God, why did you not get me rich? you know, if I am a rich person, I will help for sure because um uh I experience not like I experience a hard life. So yep.
Yeah, sometimes I actually say the same thing to God sometimes, because I know that if I were very, very rich, I would help so many people. I would help people in the Philippines. I would help my friends and family. I would help so many people. So sometimes I wonder the same thing to God. Why don't you get me rich? And I think, at the end of the day, I guess he blesses certain people. I'm not exactly sure why. But so what is your goal as far as jobs go? Because you said you work for Amazon. What is your end goal?
Honestly, if you know Aunt Tessie, our auntie,
That's my dad's sister. Yeah, she lives only 20 minutes away from me.
that's nice.
Yeah.
Aunt Tessie, she used to give us money before when she have extra. My goal right now, cousin, I really want to go to America as well. Sometimes for better opportunity in the near future, perhaps 5 years from now. I hope someone from our relatives can get me there, or maybe I can do something like go to Australia as well, because they have good benefits there. I really want to go to abroad to at least help my family here in the Philippines in the next 5 years, if God give me that opportunity, of course. Because right now we're still struggling. We're comfortable, but not we're in like not really middle class, but we're in like the poor and then next to the poorest. You know,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
like middle class.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but in America, I think it's like 80% of people are also living check to check. So it's actually, I'm not, I guess I shouldn't compare, but it is, a lot of people do feel the same way at the very least that we're struggling. So, it's very tough right now. There are a lot of billionaires who are hogging the money but, that's a whole other discussion. So is your goal to live here?
Yes, like my goal is to go to America, be with my relatives there, like you as well, and perhaps find a better job opportunity for me who can cater my skills, my knowledge as well. Because I've been with call center industry for 6 or 7 years now, and sometimes it's very draining, cousin. Honestly, it's very draining because we're not really compensated very well. Like, I don't want to give um salary range, but we're not really compensated very well on the job that we're doing. So I really want to be compensated fairly.
I'm pretty sure that you guys get less than the minimum wage here, right? They pay you even less because Amazon can be a very greedy company. So do you know what job you want to do here? What is
Because cousin, I'm not graduate. I'm undergrad of tourism.
Oh, tourism is your major?
Yes, HRM and tourism is my major way back in college, but I'm undergraduate. I did not finish my college due to poverty, of course. But if I were to go there, I really want to perhaps work as a like what is like the like what they call this? Um Anything that can provide like good salary. I can do at least a waitress. I can be a waitress there. Anything that can support my family.
Yeah, there's this stereotype that a lot of Filipinos become nurses.
Nurse, yeah. But that's beyond my, beyond my expertise. So, but if God allow me to be a nurse, it's fine with me. So long as I can go there in America.
I know a lot of them become like what is it called? Caregivers in homes. A lot of them do that, and some work in nursing homes as well.
Yes. My uncle, Tito June, my brother's
Mhm.
sibling, he is graduate of nursing, but he don't want to work. Doesn't want to go there. I don't know. Maybe perhaps they're scared. But if my lolo, my father's father, if he's still alive, maybe we're in America as well. But
Yeah,
that's life.
I know. It's tough because everybody wants to come to America, and now they're getting more strict with the borders and with the immigration, which is a whole different story. So. Tell us what the process is like because I don't really know what the process is like as far as, the sponsorship coming to America. Are you familiar with the process?
What I heard with my lola when she's still alive, she said that someone has to be a resident there, and then someone will need to sponsor, for example, me to go there in America so that I can work there or study there and then have a green card. I'm not really familiar what's the green card. Yep.
Yeah, is there how long will that wait be? Like let's just say a bunch of us pooled our money together. How long would the wait be? Do you know how long the wait would be?
Yes, I heard around 2 years. Actually, I did ask Aunt Tessie one time if she can get me there in America, but she said I need to be a nurse or graduate, or like I need to be at least graduate of nurse. I'm not really sure, but she said she's willing to get me there, but I need to study. I guess I need to study there here first to go there. But you know, schooling here is very expensive as well. It's the reason why I did not finish my college.
Yeah, I also didn't finish my college degree because, life, we get caught up in life and work and all that. But, I will talk to my aunt about, one day pooling our money together and then helping you with the sponsorship because, I would definitely love to meet you in person. And, it does break my heart to see all of people in the Philippines, especially my own relatives, struggling in poverty. And it's a really sad situation, isn't it?
It is very hard actually, but thank you for giving me hope that one day I can go to America. But
Yeah, we're definitely gonna make it happen. At some point we'll make it happen, whether it's within the next 5 years. We'll definitely make it happen because we can always pool our money together and then sponsor you. And even if you might have to wait 2 years, we'll definitely make it happen.
thank you so much. Because sometimes I feel like I'm losing hope here in the Philippines because life here is very tough, cousin. You'll do the same job. You're not paid very well. That's the reason why I'm very happy to talk to you right now, because somehow um I have strong faith that someday I can go to America.
Yes, I mean, lucky for you, you have a bunch of relatives here. So, I can talk to them about it and we can help pool our money together. Maybe one Christmas or something, we'll pool our money together. Because yeah, I think you said it's $2,000, I think.
Yeah, the plane ticket is very expensive. I guess 2,000 US dollars.
Right.
Around 100,000 plus.
Yeah, so we can make it happen because my aunt Tessie is only 20 minutes away, so we could definitely pool our money together one day. Within the next 5 years. That sounds like a pretty attainable goal. I think we can do that.
Thank you so much. And then once I get there in America, perhaps I can also help my family here, who's also struggling. Like my father, he has no job. My father and my aunt, they also have mental illnesses. So I, I know how what it feels like to have this disorder.
Yeah, so is there so let's what mental illnesses do they have?
My father, I think he's bipolar because he got very angry easily. My own father, he wants to have arguments all the time. Growing up, I kasi growing up, I can see arguments here in our household and when I was young as well. So I think my father has a bipolar, and then he's very pop up with pride. He don't want to apologize. He's very he's a you know he's pop up with pride. He's
I
not.
think prideful is the word you're looking for. And how about your mom?
My mom, she's very kind. Growing up, my mom always advises us to be strong, to never give up. Mm. Mom is our shoulder to cry on.
She sounds like a very strong and kind and compassionate woman.
My mom, when I was young, she used to work in a laundry shop and feed us. My father, in the other hand, my father is kind as well. Growing up, he works, but always fighting with other people. I don't know. Is it like? I think it has something to do with his bipolar. But my mom, she is a very nice person.
Well, have you ever heard the phrase hurt people"?
Yes, I did.
So what I would guess is that there's something hurting him inside.
I think so. Perhaps in his childhood, growing up, maybe perhaps my lolo, my grandfather, perhaps beat him. I'm not really sure because he's the type of person who's not sharing a lot of things. He's very secretive, my father. But I know he has mental illness because sometimes he's saying out of this words, out of this world things to us. But I know he's struggling inside. But I try to like I'm just trying to understand him that perhaps not everyone can understand my father, but me deep inside, I can feel maybe his lack of love. Perhaps he doesn't know how to like he doesn't know how to express his feelings or emotions.
Yeah, well, remember in the older generations, men were expected to be strong and to be stoic, and to that there was a stigma, and sometimes men are ashamed when they express their emotions. So now things are starting to change. Men are starting to open up, but I'm willing to bet that your father learned a long time ago, maybe when he was a child, that expressing emotions makes him weak, and that he somehow he views it as somewhat of a weakness to express emotions.
Yes, I think I agree on that as well. Because in our culture as well, cousin, man should be the foundation, or man should be the top and strong one. Perhaps it has something to do with culture as well here in the Philippines.
Yeah, well, what I'm willing to bet is that at some point, maybe in his childhood, at a long time ago, he learned that expressing emotions would lead to suffering some way. Maybe his father would tell him to man up. Maybe his father would beat him when he would express emotions. But I'm also willing to bet that he's a very insecure man, I would say.
I think so. My father is a very insecure man because my father's side, they're very smart, very very smart. My aunt Marites, who has the schizophrenia, she's very smart because she is a graduate of a like she is a doctor. So meaning to say, cousin, my father's side, they're very very smart to the point. they don't know how to handle it. Mm.
Yeah, well, it sounds to me like they're very intelligent, but maybe not emotionally intelligent because there are different types of intelligence. There's having a high IQ, there's being financially intelligent, but being emotionally intelligent and being introspective. This is the different type of intelligence, isn't it?
Yes, I must agree on that as well. Perhaps my father's side, they're very intelligent, but they're lacking emotional um knowledge, I guess.
Yes.
Emotional.
So,
Mhm.
is there anything else that besides? I know you said you had PMDD. Do you have siblings?
I do have my brother, which are our eldest, Edinburgh, and then my middle siblings, Ira, and then me. For
Oh,
three
so
on.
you're the youngest.
I'm the youngest, yeah.
So how was your relationship with your siblings?
I'm very close with my brother, but with my sister, we're very aloof. We're not close because she has different perspective in life. Well, as for my brother is the one who is our my father is like my brother is like my second father. He's the one who's providing us food. He's the one who's providing us our rent because my contribution in our household cousin is like rent and the electricity bill. And then my brother, his contribution is food, and then what do you call this, rent as well per 50/50, and then cable and the water bill.
Okay, so
We're
it sounds like you all chip in to help each other, which is great.
Yeah, both of us were actually surviving our family. But my brother, he's a dreamer. He told me that he will never give up so we can have a better life.
He lives with you in the Philippines, right?
Yes. My mother and my brother and I, and then my nephew and niece, we're in one household.
Yeah, and doesn't it get so hard to juggle work and family and bills, and it gets so hard to juggle everything, doesn't it?
Yes, it's very hard when you're in a third world country and you really need to strive harder because if you if you stop working here, you don't have like, we're the backup plans, me and my brother. We don't have rich family, we don't have rich parents, so we really need to strive harder, since we're the backup plans, we really need to um dream more, to work harder so we can provide a good future with my niece and my nephew as well.
You
That's
you
my
can
dream.
you can always marry a rich man.
Well, they say that age, but it's better to go to, like, cousin. Well, it's good to marry a rich man, but at the same time, you can you can just, it's, if you like, how can I say it? Like, if you achieve something for yourself on your own, it's it's a beautiful feeling, you know. It's more like I did it with my own hand. I did it knowing that someone did not help me, or someone or your spouse did not help me. It's a good feeling when you achieve something on your own.
Yeah, it's much more satisfying. Like it's sort of like, when I was a kid, my parents would pay for all my vacations, but now that I'm an adult, I pay for my own vacations and it feels much better to know I earned this, I wasn't given to me. I earned the hotel, the plane, and I love my parents and I appreciate them, but at the same time it feels good to know that we worked hard and that we earned things, doesn't it?
Exactly. Exactly right. It's better to get what you have in your own hand, you know. It's better if you feel those hardship um on hand. You know the saying, cousin, that success comes with failures.
Yep.
So you need to fail several or sometimes multiple times to get where you want. Like, and then you will feel the like it's very satisfying if you get the goal you want.
Yes, yeah, I know that life is hard, but I promise you that it will get better. So what about a husband and kids? Is it your goal to start a family, to have a husband and kids? Is that your goal eventually?
Right now, no.
Okay, okay.
I I really want to help my family first,
Yeah.
because um I can say, cousin, that eventually, if the right time comes, um once I've make sure that my family is in a better place, that's the only time I can perhaps have my own family as well, perhaps build my own family. But for now, my main goal is to at least try to get my family in poverty. Like, you know, at least try to have a better life for them first. Then that's the only time I can be on my own.
Yeah, and I hear this a lot, even in America. A lot of people have the mentality of, I don't want any kids until I can get my own life together, until I can get my own career together, because times are hard. Even in America, times are hard. I know that it's harder in the Philippines, but I see it everywhere. The vast majority of people are living check to check. One thing that's happening a lot in America is a lot of people. I think last year the number was 18 million people moved back home with their parents. 18 million people, because times are so hard to pay the bills. 18 million people moved back home. I kind of ran out of questions. Is there anything else you want to say?
I can resonate as well with what you um, mentioned earlier. But
Mhm.
yep, thank you for this. I really appreciate you inviting me with this podcast. I learned a lot as well with American
Uh,
culture, and it's my pleasure to also meet you.
Yeah, and trust me, we will. Yeah, the viewer just they don't know that this is our first time actually communicating because you live in the Philippines. So this is our first time actually talking face to face. But like I said, I just want to end the podcast reminding you that we will make it happen within the next 5 years. We will get you to America and we will pool our money together and we will sponsor you. I don't know if you want to if you want to leave your Cash App or if you want to text me your Cash App and then I could leave it in the link in the description. I don't know if you want to do that.
Well, I can do that as well, perhaps to at least if your your viewers can help, that will be much appreciated. So
Yeah,
yep,
so message me your Cash App and I could put it in the description below, okay, Britt?
that will be wonderful. Thank you so much for this. I really appreciate you. I really
Yes,
do.
thank you so much. Keep in touch, okay? Have a great day.
You too. Have a great
Bye.
day.
Take care.